Actual robot fights in Fresno? That and more in CIT 12, Week 11. Hey everybody, it is week 11, this is CIT 12, and this week we are talking all about computer hardware. So this week we're looking at Chapter 6, and Chapter 6 is all about computer hardware. The book goes into great detail about computer specs and sort of how you can compare one computer to another. The lecture video for this week is a little bit more practical than that. We look at choosing a computer, something that's brought up in the chapter, but the problem is that choosing a computer is a lot harder than it used to be. And that's because based on your needs, you may not need a computer at all. You might be quite happy with a tablet or with a mobile device of some sort. So it's hard to compare those sort of apples and oranges sort of comparisons between tablets and computers. You can't just look at the hardware numbers to know whether or not it's actually going to fit your lifestyle and what you need best. But regardless, we'll look into computer hardware and sort of choosing a computer, choosing a device that meets your lifestyle needs. And then as always, there's a quiz on Chapter 6 in the Week 11 folder. Your discussion for this week is kind of a fun one. It's all about the maker movement and maker faire in particular. This was something that started out of Make magazine 10 years ago. It's actually been 10 years. And it has inspired a large number of people all around the world to start making things in their own life. Sometimes involving technology, sometimes just involving fermented cucumbers and cabbage, right? But to make something, to stop being a culture of consumers and to be a culture of makers. And so these groups get together, they do stuff. There's a couple videos. I just want you to take a look at them. There's a discussion prompt right there in the Week 11 folder you can take a look at. But is this something that inspires you? Do you think you could be a maker? Are you already a maker in some way? Talk about it as a discussion. And it does connect locally. Every April, we have a mini maker fair right here in Fresno that you can visit. You can sort of network and connect with other makers. We have a place downtown called Fresno Idea Works, where people get together and can actually, use their lab and build stuff together. In fact, just last weekend, they had a sumo bot championship called Bots on Broadway, I think it was called. Actual robot fights here in Fresno, happening, just down the street. So anyway, there is a maker movement going on right here in Fresno, and I put some links in there so you can check out the websites in case you want to get involved. And then we start our final program in Microsoft Office. We will look at Windows 10 later on, but PowerPoint is the last program in Microsoft Office that we'll be doing labs on. And so we start our first lab on PowerPoint. PowerPoint is a piece of software that's used to give presentations. You display slides while you talk. Presentations are a big way that we do training in the business world and sort of in the work world. Wherever you go, you're going to run into people who do PowerPoint for a living. And so anytime you need to express information to other people, PowerPoint is a good way to do it, especially at live events. Video is actually, also a really important skill. It's not something we cover so much in this class, but it's another way that we do training. And of course, there's ways of incorporating video into PowerPoint, etc. But regardless, PowerPoint, incredibly useful, used all over. Also, a relatively easy program. It's not nearly as difficult as Excel, so hopefully you'll see it as a little bit of a breather. It'll feel a little less complicated. There's some animations that kind of get a little tricky, but at the very least they're animations and they're kind of fun. And that's it, standard week for us. Chapter, quiz, discussion on the maker movement, and your first lab in PowerPoint. If you have any questions, as always, send me an email, and I will see you online.